Because confidence for dogs, if you've got a dog that is lacking in confidence, confidence is built through experience, not around it, right? Like you can't train fear out of a dog, but you can help them walk through it. You can help them be there on the other side of it, right? So when we start to shy away from things, when we avoid things. Now, don't get me wrong. There certainly are times that we want to avoid things. There's, if we have a dog that, isn't coping, isn't able to get to the other side of that, then yeah, I might suggest to you, if I was coaching you one-on-one or if you're in the program, I might suggest, let's take some time away from that trigger and work on other things. But if we keep on pulling our dogs away from all of the things and we don't allow them to experience the fear and get to the other side of it, they won't ever get that confidence, right? Confidence is built on life layering. It's the, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And then the, I didn't die moment that life layers. Yes, today on the podcast, I'm reminiscing, I'm telling some stories, but we're also talking about what does it take to be the absolute best dog mom you can be. Let's get into it. Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there, overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it. Hey there, friend. If you've been doing this whole dog thing on your own, trying to piece it all together from YouTube, books, well-meaning strangers at the park, I want you to know you don't have to struggle alone. Inside the Fearless Framework, my 12-month online program, where you will find more than just a course about how to build trust, create an unshakable bond with your dog so that everything else gets easier, but you will also find a supportive community of dog moms and caregivers just like you. You'll get monthly Q&As with video behavior analysis reviews. And if you're a student, you're going to receive exclusive discounts on private one-on-one coaching calls with me. So if you're ready to stop feeling stuck and start building trust, confidence, and calm, join us over at beyondobedience.ca/fearless. Come for the results, but stay for the friendships. I'll see you there. Well, hello, my dog-loving friend. It is Tracy. Welcome to Beyond Obedience, the podcast. Super duper welcome if you're brand new. And hey, if someone shared this podcast with you, give them a hug for me. Just give them a hug. First of all, I think we should all just take a moment and just get a hug. Just hug it out. I feel like the world needs a hug. There's some sort of sciencey thing, you have to hug for at least 30 seconds or something for the oxytocin to start to flow, where you start to feel love. So long hug it out. All right. Today on the podcast, I'm getting a little sentimental today. I want to share a story. But before I do, I want to set the scene and let you know that I am a person who, I used to cringe at the term dog mom, and even worse, don't even get me started on the term fur baby. Fur baby still kind of makes me shiver a little bit. I never liked it. It always rubbed me the wrong way. Even it's not even that, it's not even because I have human kids. Although that made it weird for me. If these are my fur babies, what are these, my skin babies? I'm why are we doing this? I don't like it. But even before I had kids, I was no, it's not. I just don't like it. And it never really sat right. It never really felt right to me. And just because, it's fluffy and it's kind of, and also, dogs aren't babies. If you take a moment and you just really sit in the glory of what a dog is, everything that they are, all the things, I just like, even the cute ones, like we have a Jack Russell. She is super cute. Don't get me wrong. I say dumb things to her all the time. Like, oh my God, you're the cutest. Like I say those things all the time. But at the end of the day, that dog was born to kill things. Like that breed was, have you watched? Okay, maybe not mine. Don't watch mine. she's not like, the example of the breed standard as far as skill set. But she did ratting. She did barn hunt and all that stuff. She did okay. But have you ever watched those videos of Jack Russells, like working on farms, like annihilating like nests of rats in like seconds? Like they are legitimately little terrorists. Like they're incredible. And here we are like picking them up and dressing them up and calling them fur babies. Like it's such a disservice to them. But anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that. But I've been sitting back with the whole idea of being a dog mom and then being like, okay, you want to know something? I can kind of step back from that a little bit and see it, because there are some definite comparisons. If we're talking about like being a good dog mom, you know what I mean? Like being a good dog mom. But first, let me set the scene a little bit, because this was a story that kind of brought this all up, and I was kind of thinking about stuff. Did I ever tell you the story? This is going way back. Sit back, grab a tea. Be one with the tea. This was back like, oh gosh, how old would Connor have been? Connor's my youngest. He would have been, I don't know, grade 2. So what is that? 7, 8, 7 probably. Anyway, I'm sitting at home. My son gets off the school bus. He's holding this like piece of paper, right? He's running down the driveway. He's coming at me. He's all excited. And he's like, mom. Like, you have to sign this form. Like, I want to do this. And I was like, ooh, cool. What is it? And I read it. And he wanted to try to go on the skating relay race to represent his school at the county skating relay race. And I'm looking at this kid. He's so excited. And all I could think of was, dude, you don't know how to skate. Like he didn't know how to skate. I mean, admittingly, not his fault. We're not really like winter sports people, or winter people. If you've been listening to me complain at all, I'm not a fan of the winter. So we weren't like hockey parents or anything like that. Our kids played soccer. They were soccer players, Anyway, I digress. The point is, he had skates on. He had done a little bit of skating, but his skating consisted of, him just kind of falling forward until he hit a snowdrift. Like that was Connor's skating. Anyway, he's all excited. He wants to do this thing. I'm like, I don't even think he knows what a relay race is. Like, do you even know what you're talking about? He didn't. But anyway, I turn and I'm like, I don't really want to break this kid's heart. And then Paisley turns to me. She said, don't worry about it, Mom. Like, it's a tryout. Like, he's never going to make the team. So I was like, cool. Right now I can sign the form. I'm the hero, and I can let the school break your dreams. Like, just crush all your little dreams. Like, you'll come home and I'll give you a hot chocolate. We'll be like, oh, maybe next year, that kind of thing. I still end up being hero of the day. So I signed the form. Don't think anything of it. Kid goes to school, comes back the next day, all excited. He made the team. And I was like, how? How did you possibly make the team? Turns out it was a draw from a hat. What? Who chooses a team based on a drawing from a hat? So now I'm even more worried for this kid, because I'm like, he doesn't know how to skate. He's still really excited. And he says to me, like, I got to practice. And we actually had, it was like a pond. Not really. It was a puddle. We had this giant puddle in one of the horse fields, and we had scraped it off. And so we were like, okay, well, go practice. And does the kid not go out there practice? Terrible. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. He can't skate. Like, that's the thing. About 2 days before before the relay race, he comes home and he says, Mom, I think I have a problem. And I was like, he's figured it out, right? Like he's seen the other kids skating. He's realized he doesn't have what it takes. But no, the boy turns to me and he says, I just found out we might have to skate backwards. And I was like, oh, and he's like, and I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, no, you don't. And he was like, so I'm going to go out and learn. I guess I have to go learn that right now. And then off he went. And I was like, this kid, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Anyway, to make a very long story a little bit longer, day of the race comes. He's all excited. I still have the picture of him standing with his skates on, wearing his little McNabb Public School, like jersey thing. Like he's all proud, goes out and I would love to say that this is one of those stories where you're like, he had practiced so hard and like everyone was cheering for him and he was so successful. But spoiler alert, no, he still didn't know how to skate. Like he just didn't know how to skate. He got out on the ice. It was his turn and he got out on the ice and he fell. He took 2 more steps and he fell again. Someone that was on the ice had to help him. They picked him up and they kind of pushed him ever so slightly and he skidded across the ice and he knocked one of the barrels over because each lane had barrels that they had to skate around. Anyway, he knocks this barrel like into the other skating lane and almost takes another kid out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like awful. And like all the other kids there, like they were gliding, they could skate. Like these were obviously hockey kids or figure skaters. Like they knew what they were doing. And here's my son constantly like falling and dropping. He dropped the baton. He did like, it was, to say it was a nightmare is an understatement. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this kid is going to come back like utterly crushed, right? Just utterly, utterly crushed. And so the thing's over. Mark's in, with him in the change room, getting changed. And Connor comes out and I'm like, oh gosh. So I'm all ready to be like, the warm hug to be like, it's okay, buddy, kind of a thing. And I looked at him and I said, well, how was that? And he looks up at me. I'll never forget it. He looks up at me and he says, it was great. Oh my gosh. I don't know who won, Mom, but I got $1, a bottle of water, and a chocolate bar. This was the best day ever. Best day ever. I know, right? Like, I sat there looking at this kid. He's holding this shiny loonie because he had gotten the $1 and he's got his bottle of water and he's so excited. And I was like, were you at the same relay race I was? Like, and then it hit me in that moment that all of that fear that I had, that dread that I had, all of that emotion that I had about him failing, it wasn't about him. It wasn't about him at all. It was really about me. It was about the fact that I didn't want to see the pain of failure on my kid's face. That's what it was about. It had nothing to do with him. I never picked up on the cues that he was going to have a great time and that I was so focused on how it was going to make me feel to see my kid hurt or in pain from failing in front of a whole arena full of I think everybody in the community was at that damn skating relay race. Like it was a big deal. Anyway, I sat there and I looked at him and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to, I honestly, in that moment, that kid was my hero. Like he was absolutely my hero because I don't deal with failure that well. I usually take a beat before I can dust myself off after a good embarrassing failure like that. But Connor learned to enjoy failure while currently in failure. He was like, this is the best day ever. And I'll never forget that day and I'll never forget that lesson. And honestly, I still strive for it. I'm still someone who shies away from things if I think that it's going to be, cringy or whatnot. Anyway, that was my story of Connor and the best the best day ever. What does this have to do about anything besides the fact that I just wanted to share that story? Well, I was thinking a lot about that. And I was thinking about this idea of being a dog mom. And what does it take for us to be like the best dog mom, right? Because I think we can do this with our dogs too. Maybe we're doing things because of the or we're not doing things because of the embarrassment or the judgment or the discomfort of how we feel about things rather than, maybe suspending that. I know for a lot of people, especially when I used to teach group classes, I would see it all the time, like dogs would do like really great job and people would be like, good boy or good dog. And I'd be like, no, that dog killed that. Like you should be like jumping up and down, have a celebration. And I realized that people in front of others don't want to make fools of themselves. They're not going to they're not going to be that exuberant. But I wonder, how much of that, how much of how we feel we might be judged by others around us is affecting our ability to really connect with dogs, because dogs don't care, right? Like dogs don't care. Dogs can be goofy and run into a wall and then just keep going and they don't care, right? So there was a little bit of that, like how, can we suspend our embarrassment, our fear of judgment, our discomfort of how people will perceive us to just take our relationship with our dogs to the next level? Can we do that? Because confidence for dogs, if you've got a dog that is lacking in confidence is built through experience, not around it, right? Like you can't train fear out of a dog, but you can help them walk through it. You can help them be there on the other side of it, right? So when we start to shy away from things, when we avoid things. Now, don't get me wrong. There certainly are times that we want to avoid things. There's, if we have a dog that, isn't coping, isn't able to get to the other side of that, then yeah, I might suggest to you, if I was coaching you one-on-one or if you're in the program, I might suggest, let's take some time away from that trigger and work on other things. But if we keep on pulling our dogs away from all of the things and we don't allow them to experience the fear and get to the other side of it, they won't ever get that confidence, right? Confidence is built on life layering. It's the, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And then the, I didn't die moment that life layers. And a lot of the times, because we're like, I don't want the judgment, or oh gosh, I don't want to be the one with the ding dong dog, right? We will have what other people think of us as a motivator on what we do or do not do with our dogs. And I think, where we can separate like what makes us awesome dog parents or a dog mom would be like to suspend that, to be like, we're going to do this because it's the best thing for you. Even if it makes me uncomfortable, even if I fear the judgment of others, I'm going to do this, right? I think the other thing too is that we want to make sure, like our kids, that we let our dogs be exactly who they are, right? Let go of the expectations and just meet your dog. Meet the dog that's right in front of you. Like if you need to reintroduce yourself, be like, hi, I'm Tracy. Let's get to know, let's get to know our dogs deeply. What lights them up? What's inside that genetic resume? What's their unique doganality? Shameful plug. If you don't know doganality, go to beyondobedience.ca/quiz. Take the doganality quiz, right? Because if you don't understand your dog, you need to get curious about that and not controlling. Right? Like we don't want to control them to be something that they're not. We want to embrace who they are. And I hate to say this, I don't hate to say this. I'm not going to say this. I'm going to say it. I don't hate it. If you have a barky dog and barking is in their genetic resume, embrace the barking dog. You got to embrace it. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to let our dogs bark all the time, but it does mean if barking is part of their genetic resume, if they have been specifically bred to signal to us through verbal, through barking, then we need to find a way to embrace it. We need to find a way to embrace it. You got yourself a barky dog. Now, some of us created barky dogs. That's a whole other thing. But I'm just saying, if it's part of their genetic resume. Okay? All right. What really makes you the best dog mom? Let's kind of think about it. I don't know where I'm going with this, so I'm just going to think it. Let's think it out loud. Welcome to my not thought out story and podcast episode today. I'll tell you what makes you the best dog mom isn't a perfect heel, and it's certainly not a polished downstay. Those look cool. Or matching outfits. Matching outfits don't make you the best dog mom. I think being a support, silent, let's put that in there, silent support in those hard moments. Someone that's there for them that is like, you got this. I got your back, but you got this, right? Cheering them for any tiny signs of progress. I will say, and I think my students inside the Fearless Framework would agree, if you ever watch me or listen to me review dog videos, you'll see how many times I naturally say, yes, good, throughout a dog video. And the reason for it is because I'm so programmed now to like find those minuscule little moments where they've made the right decision and really bring that cheering, those tiny signs of progress. Many of us have been taught to like say the command and then we stand there like a brick. We wait for the command to fully finish and then we go, good dog, and we hand them a treat. And we think that that's it. And it's really not. I want you to get into it. I want you to be a part of it. Like, I get excited for my dogs. Like if I'm like done like a scent thing where I've gone and hidden something and then I send my dogs out to go find it and they're getting close, like I'm in it. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's almost there. And I'm like, and when he gets it, I'm like, yeah, you did it. Like I get into it, and you need to too, right? Cheering on for those tiny little signs of progress. Holding space for fear without fixing it, without running in to be the hero, without coddling them through it, just being there, right? When you start to work really hard on this idea of being the person that your dog can trust and rely on, you're going to find that just your presence, you being okay, is enough support for your dog to get through that thing on their own. And then they get the win, right? They get the win. And then as I already said, I want my dogs to be their best self, not who I want them to be, their best self. So there you go. All right, let's recap that if I can remember all the things I said. All right, first of all, 6 best ways that you can be the best dog mom ever. There's a lot of best in there. Let's just change that to 6 ways to be the best dog mom ever. Number 1, let them try. Even if you think they're going to fail, let them try. Don't rush in right away to rescue them. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to coddle them. Just let them try. Hold that space. Number 2, hold that space without fixing it. Number 3, celebrate those efforts. Celebrate all those efforts. And we're not looking for perfection. Number 4, get to know your dog. And I mean, get to know your dog, right? And even the things that you don't like or you don't understand. If I can bring up my middle child, my son, Ben, we've always kind of struggled because Ben's big thing is video games. Like, he's always been a video game player. And honestly, I can't watch a lot of those video games now. They make me dizzy. I'm an Atari type Pac-Man, Donkey Kong type video game child. I don't understand these ones where it looks like you're walking through and you've got the 3D vision, like all that. So I don't get it. Makes me dizzy. My point is, doesn't matter if I don't get it. It's what my son really loved. And trying to make an effort to understand the things that he loves is part of being a good mom. All right. Let go of who you thought they would be. Okay, maybe you had these expectations when you got the dog of what you thought your life with your dog was going to be. And maybe there's some parts of that you just have to let go, right? You might just have to let go of that. And that's just how it has to be, right? Get to know who they are, but let go of who you thought they were supposed to be. And then number 6, want growth for them, not praise for you. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. I fall for this too. Like I fall for this too. Nothing makes me feel better than, people commenting on how great my dogs are. And they are. But we want to do the things that is for them and not necessarily praise for you. All right, I think that's it for today, my dog loving friend. Hey, listen, if you like this kind of stuff, can you do me a favor? Head on over to Apple Podcasts, give me a 5-star written review, or comment and subscribe over on Spotify. Either way, they both help to push the podcast out to more and more people, which is the whole entire goal. If you are someone who is interested in taking this to the next level, be sure to join me over in the Fearless Framework. Show notes will have all of those links for you. You can check that out there. And as always, my dog loving friend, get out there today and be the person that your dog thinks you are, because your dog thinks that you're amazing. And so do I. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only and is not meant to replace hands-on professional training. If you're really struggling with your dog, please reach out to a professional in your area. All right, I think that's it. Bye for now.